those who haven't studied such matters, to learn that one of the greatest of them all, JMW Turner, made no fewer than 4 tours of the area. Long before the days of good roads or even railways, Turner made long and arduous journeys on horseback through Teesdale, Swaledale and Wensleydale to make watercolours for grand histories of Durham and Yorkshire. To retrace his footsteps, I needed a guide, and couldn't have found a better or more knowledgeable one than Stanley Warburton, the Vice President of the Turner Society. Must make you feel rather close to him, does it? To follow in his footsteps?
Yes, I think it does really, yes. I think the spirit of Turner sort of imbues my feelings about the Yorkshire Dales. I can't get very far away without thinking about where he went, really.
Do you suspect that Turner ever actually sat in the same spot you're sitting in now?
Oh, give or take 100 yards. Top of the hill up there where he looked back over Summer Water. Because he'd done the drawing of the Carlow Stone and then he moved up here on his way. He probably had his horse side of the road and then looked back and did the quick sketch over the lake and then moved down, countersect back into Ash Creek. Came up when he was 22 in 1797 and he explored the north right from the borders across the Lake District and was fascinated by the scenery. In fact, if he was required to do abbeys, castles, he was the right man for the job. Son of a barber, born in London, son of Bow Bells, therefore a Cockney, a very small man like his father, 5 foot nothing.
How did he travel?
In the main, stagecoach to get up here, then he would hire horses and leave them at various stablings. And then in between, when he couldn't get a horse, he'd walk.
And what did he carry with him?
Well, probably his usual sketching books, his umbrella, convertible to a fishing rod, maybe a small pack, even probably over his shoulder.
Well, we're now at Aysgarth Falls, Stanley. When did he come here?
Well, he came in July of 1816 on his perambulation to get the sketches for the history of Richmondshire, for Dr. Whittaker's book, which was going to be the history of Yorkshire, which was never completed because he died of it. And he had certain views to take, and one specific one was chosen down at the Lower Falls because that was chosen by this committee of experts who actually chose the best viewpoints in Yorkshire for him. The watercolour was in Indianapolis, in the John Heron Museum. That was very, very fine watercolour, now faded. So the engraving is better to look at. He liked the other views as well himself, that's why I made so many sketches, about 300 or so on the old trip.
What do you think of the results of his efforts here at Aysgarth Falls?
Oh, I think they're terrific. I think the old sketches themselves are quite wonderful. Wonderful steady hand and hard pencil, small book, brilliantly conceived, no trouble. Master draftsman, absolutely. But not just doing descriptive topography. It was always at times interpreting the scene poetically. There's a real feeling of enhancing the view, making things more decided, more definite. That's his great strength. 1816 was horrendous as regards rain. I think he said he was wet as a drake, except for the curled feather, and that was something. Yeah.
And out of all that, travelling through the Dales and those kind of conditions in 1816, he produced these wonderful watercolours. With sunshine.
The sunshine. Blue Dales.
Yes, how did he do that?
Something fine.
Imagination?
A complete imagination, yes. No trouble at all to Turner. Not an imagination-wise.
What about hard-draw falls? He did a picture of those, didn't he?
Yes, he did a picture of the falls. From on the opposite side of this, where we're standing, high up, you could look down into the gorge. There are no trees in those days, and get this fantastic view of the falls.
Turner couldn't choose what he himself wanted to paint.
Now, in spite of all the sketches he made, hundreds of sketches, he still got to the views he was required to do by this committee. It was only part of a complete plan to the whole history of Yorkshire.
So this was a commission?
A commission from Whitaker. One of the clerics, Dr. Rain from Durham, and there was Tate, the schoolmaster in Richmond, and 2 others were chosen, and they went around and found the best viewpoints.
What happened to the watercolours he painted up here?
Well, a mixed sort of reception about the watercolours. The difficulty in selling them. Longmans, who tried to recoup money from the whole venture of getting the engravings made from the pictures, they couldn't sell the actual original pictures. So some were given away, and some went for as little as a few pounds. But finally Ruskin got onto them, bought a number, and of course adored them and wrote very wonderfully about them, really, especially about Richmond. And then when he gave pictures to Oxford and Cambridge, they found different homes.
They couldn't find a buyer at the time. What would they be worth today?
Well, you could think about an individual picture, individual watercolour would probably be 30,000, 40,000. So for 20, you can work it out, can't you? So
Best part of $1 million.
Best part of $1 million. Yeah.
Can we here lay a little claim to him?
I'm sure we can, because the end of his life, he was afraid to come back, didn't want to return. He'd had so many happy times here. The thoughts of wandering by the rivers, of the wharf which he adored, and the greeter, they brought tears to his eyes. He loved the North of England so much. A real love affair with the Dales, with JMW Turner.
Following in the footsteps of Turner with Stanley Warburton, one of the most absorbing journeys I've undertaken for the diary.